Here we go again, quietly and behind the backs of the American people. In the opening days of a brand new year, Barack Obama set up the Council of Governors. Just like the strange 30-plus czars running America, with neither the people's nor the Congress's blessing, the Council of Governors is already, unfortunately, a done deal that nobody seems to be aware of. Question every American should be asking, is this the first steps towards martial law or a tie-in to the Interpol RAND National Police Force stuff we heard about a few weeks ago? Every American should be asking, what the bloody hell is going on? It seems to be another stealth order executed without any announcement or explanation to the people. Any freedom-loving patriot out there knows that the promise of Obama transparency was one big fat lie, a major con on the American people. Obama on Monday established a panel of state governors to collaborate with Washington on a variety of potential emergencies, the White House said, as reported by the UPI.com, January 11, 2010, at 11:54 p.m. Obama signed an executive order establishing a panel to be known as the Council of Governors, which will be made of 10 state governors to be selected by the President to serve two-year terms. Members will review matters involving the National Guard, Homeland Defense, civil support, and synchronization and integration of state and federal military activities in the United States. Once again, federal military activities in the United States. Shouldn't that make you a little bit concerned? It's making me concerned. I guess the bottom line is that the Obama administration seems to be conducting the business of America under the cover of darkness. And I think it's getting old to a lot of people. I think a lot of people out there are questioning both parties now. They question the Republicans and the Democrats. They don't trust either one of them at this point. More and more people are identifying themselves as independent, which is probably the right thing to do at this point in time because someone is selling us out. I mean, it had to be both parties to help usher in this kind of stupidity. But right now, every single day, we're losing freedoms. Now, a lot of people are even questioning whether or not these terrorists are even real. They're not just ghosts or phantoms put out there, like these guys are patsies, put out there to usher in this control over everything we do. Who would design a world where everything is so controlled? I mean, it's just absolutely insane. These were things that were predicted way back when through Bible prophecy and everything, which I never really thought much about until now because a lot of stuff is happening. There's going to be embedded chips in your hand. There's all kinds of things going to go happen that are just showing that we're heading down some scary-ass path. Right now, you've got cameras on your roads everywhere. You can't even go anywhere without cameras monitoring what you're doing. I mean, there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be chips in your hand. You're going to be so controlled. Who'd want this? And it seems like this Obama administration seems to be part of this whole conspiracy. There's controlled media. There's people suppressing information. It's just so odd. And hopefully we have enough people in this world that wake up that we can stop this madness.
For our story for today, check this is gonna make you literally almost fall over and want to rip through the screen or the videos or the TV, however you're watching this. It's gonna make you want to jump through and go, "Are you kidding me?" It's just gonna make you feel that way. Barack Obama on January 11th, no different from Bush. Bush did the same thing, same types of things. Barack Obama on January 11th made an executive order. Didn't seek the approval of the Congress, didn't seek the approval of the American people, just did it and said it and signed it and it's done. And what it was a Council of Governors, which is a union for military homeland defense, as it said. Now, we know that Barack Obama has ulterior motives. What are they? Here, look at this clip. Hear it from his own mouth.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
We know that Barack Obama wants a national civilian security workforce that's just as powerful. That's the key point there. Just as strong, just as well funded. Those are the key points. As the military, so we know Rahm Emanuel said the same thing. He wrote a book about it. You have two guys and very high up in the government, one being the president, wanting a civilian security workforce. Now you have this Council of Governors that is said to be a, quote, union, a cooperation level, if you will, between state and federal law enforcement officials and state and federal governments to help with the military in these local arenas. Look at this story now that has come out regarding the Council of Governors and the appointees to the Council of Governors. Look at this. Obama's new pick to this Council of Governors is the governor of a state that linked Christians to violence. Let me read on to this article. They are among Obama's nominations for the 10 positions on Obama's new Council of Governors that he will use to advise on military activities in the United States. Also warned police to watch out for individuals with radical ideologies based on Christian views, such as opposing illegal immigration, abortion, and federal taxes. Now, this is the interesting thing. The DHS, Department of Homeland Security, right after this MIAC report, released an assessment sheet. And they said that if you are believing in Bible prophecy, if you think there's going to be a new world order, if you are anti-one world government, if you stockpile food, if you're anti-abortion, if you're anti-immigration, you don't want a North American Union, you're against SPP.gov. That's one of our websites, government websites, SPP.gov. If you're against all of these things, then you are linked in with Al-Qaeda and the terrorists of Timothy McVeigh. I mean, they link you in with that just because you stockpile food and you believe in the Bible? Let me read on here. Police were instructed for Americans who were concerned about unemployment taxes, illegal immigration, gangs. When does it become a crime to care about gang? I mean, this is border security, abortion, high costs of living, gun restrictions, FEMA, the IRS, the Federal Reserve, and the Fed movement, the North American Union, SPP, .gov. Now, this is the thing that makes it interesting. You and I are basically those things. We're for freedom. You're for the First Amendment. You can do whatever you want. I am advocating for all the amendments. I am a pro-constitutionalist. That's what you and I are. And so you're talking about a government cooperating, a local government, state government, cooperating with a federal government that has the same mentality. You know what they're doing? They're setting up the infrastructure for martial law. They're setting up the infrastructure for complete tyranny, for complete control of you and I by a governmental agency, Department of Homeland Security, and the President of the United States. Let me read on a little bit here. Here we have the Department of Homeland Security, of course. Like I mentioned, the report was titled Right-Wing Extremism, and really, right-wing extremism had to do with, quote, believing in the Bible and stockpiling food. Is your cupboard full? You're considered stockpiling food. I mean, did you go to Costco this weekend? Did you buy a bunch of stuff? Well, you could be considered a right-wing extremist because you stockpile food. I'm telling you, this stuff is crazy. Now, let me read to you the governors that have been appointed, and I'm going to do this for a purpose, and I'll explain afterwards. Governor James H. Douglas of Vermont, Chris Gregory of Washington, Janice Brewer of Arizona. She's the girl who took over for Napolitano when Napolitano was placed Homeland Security Secretary. Louis Fortuno of Puerto Rico. Well, why do we need a council of governor out of Puerto Rico? I don't understand why we would need that. Brad Henry of Oklahoma, Robert McDonnell of Virginia, Jeremy Nixon of Missouri, this is who we're talking about today, Martin O'Malley of Maryland, Beverly Evis Perdue of North Carolina, Michael Rounds of South Dakota. Okay, this is the thing. I don't know all these people. I don't know all these people. I don't live in these states, and as of tape today, I have not done the investigation on these people because I wanted to get this information out to you. Now, what I want you to do is take this information of who these governors are in these states. If you live in these states, I want you to research these people and find out, are they Masons? Are they Bilderberg people? Are they CFR people? Are they trilateral people? What do they, have unions with banks in their state? I mean, what is the background on these people? First of all, I do not believe there should be any council of governors at all. It's setting up an infrastructure for martial law, and it creates a unequal union between state and federal governments. Also, find out what these people are up to. Get back to me, and I'll do another video on it so we can get this information out. Power is knowledge. Understand, you are not to be afraid in this whole thing. Fear is not of God. Fear is of the devil. Why? Because God has come to overcome the world. Greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. Don't be afraid. Be strong. Know that everything works together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose.